Well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the most serious of all versus shows on the internet. The one where we really break things down and make sure that you understand exactly why and how certain characters win in a fight, especially when it comes to the classic matchup that everybody wants to know the answer to. Who will win in a fight between all Pokemon and a billion lions? Why the fuck are we doing this one?
Because 2 weeks ago we did the gorilla versus 100 men, and it was very fun, and everyone seemed to have a good time. And we were like, "Well, there's that lions debate," and so we were like, "Let's do it."
People in chat asking, why is Liam a cat? Well, guess who's arguing for the lions?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Liam here arguing for the lions, and Jukum here arguing for the Pokemon.
All Pokemon.
All Pokemon.
All Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go, but we'll find out, I guess.
Gilded says, "Big questions. Do the lions get Aslan?" And I don't know. As of
We'll
right now,
feel-
it's a billion lions.
We'll discuss that as we go. It's a billion lions, maybe a trillion lions. I've seen both are like floating around.
That's a big difference.
Liam's clearly got something cooked up, right, Liam?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool, great. But everybody, thank you for tuning in to Death Battle Cast Live. We do this live every Tuesday at noon Central Time. And if you're a member for our YouTube channel, you can join in on the chat, and we would love to hear your opinions on who you think should win between all Pokemon and a billion lions. And then at the end, so these two will be arguing for their respective combatants, I guess. And then at the end of the show, I guess we'll figure out who wins, and you guys will have a vote. We'll see how well this goes. I don't know. This one could devolve into absolute madness if it hasn't already. We also do have some things coming up later on in the show that I think is going to be super big. So you guys know the upcoming death battle, Simone versus Kyle Rayner, is coming up relatively soon. So stick around for some info on that, as well as some info on a big update to the death battle show in general. And we will get to that later on.
It's over. No, I'm just kidding.
No. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a very good
It's awesome. I'm excited to talk about it, but we're going to wait till later on the show when more people are here and whatnot before we discuss it. Okay, so do we want to just jump right into this nonsense?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Okay, Jacob, normally here is when I would say, like, hey, go ahead and talk about your, your character, and you get a minute to talk about your character. But like, you are here to represent all Pokemon. So
you want me to just rant about the Pokemon for an hour straight?
How are you planning to, I guess, represent all Pokemon?
The cool thing about Pokemon is that there are a lot of assortment of moves and abilities. So I've mostly, outside picking specific Pokemon, I've mostly kind of focused on the moves that a lot of Pokemon can learn.
Okay. Interesting. So this is less about specific Pokemon, more about the movesets.
It still is, because certain Pokemon, certain moves are limited by certain Pokemon, but generally that's kind of the vibe I'm going with.
So I do also maybe want to explore this from two different possible routes, which is like legendary and mythic Pokemon included and not included. I'm wondering if that necessarily changes things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I guess
a bit. I just started fucking laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I guess
going.
Liam, do you have an answer?
When you laugh, I can't help.
Hang on. Then let's actually get to the meat of this, because clearly Liam thinks it doesn't matter if Mewtwo
you go first.
and the Thunder Clouds, whatever, and Arceus is running in. That laugh sounded awfully cocky, Liam. So you know what, Liam?
I swear to God, I understand how it sounded cocky. I realized.
No, Liam. You know what? You know what it's time for?
Liam.
It sounds like
it needs me to start talking.
Yeah, it sounds like you got 60 seconds on the clock to convince me that a billion lions are going to kill all Pokemon.
You
Go.
can have a trillion. Come on, you can have a
It
trillion.
genuinely wasn't a cocky laugh. It was a laugh.
No,
when you
your
said
time started.
legendaries, I just started fucking.
Your time has started. Why are they gonna win?
All right.
I think we should talk about the laugh
Do you
for
have-
about 5 more
Do you
minutes.
have any idea how much a billion is?
God damn it.
Do you have any idea how much it? Because when we pitched it,
It's more than 1,000.
This was according to you, Ben. This is according to you, Ben. It was a trillion. Sam got the fucking title wrong. It's a trillion lions. And so, to give you an idea, if you were to like smelt all of those lions together into like an enormous lion flesh cube, it would have the mass roughly equivalent of Mount Everest. That is so many lions. You have no idea of processing a number that large. I mean, besides the way I just did with a kind of helpful visualization. It's so fucking many lions, and lions are so scary. Fuck. But genuinely,
Wait.
it was not a laugh of cockiness. It was a laugh of absurdity when you said, we should approach this with regular Pokemon or legendary Pokemon." Lions.
Liam, what are you talking about? At the start of the show, you know that Death Metal Cast is about being as serious as possible about this.
Are we gonna bring
Get
in,
your act together, man.
Are we gonna bring in Dialga for the lions?
Dude,
Okay. Here's the thing.
dude, we messed up. We need Celebi to take us back to the past.
I'm so sorry. This is really funny.
Okay, so Jukum,
Yeah.
Liam's argument is that he's going to smelt all the lions into
There's
Mount Everest and throw it at all the
many
Pokemon.
lions. Jesus fucking Christ! That's so many lions.
So when we were talking about this, I was like, how many lions are there even on planet Earth? And it's like 20 to 40,000.
Oh yeah, not even
Like-
we're talking like ecological devastation of the likes
Yeah.
of which. I mean, I was thinking like, what is the gravitational pull of the lion cube, right? Like that thing has to be massive. That thing has to be causing like atmospheric disruptions. It's so many lions.
Okay, atmospheric disruptions from a cube of a trillion lions.
There's
Fair
your
enough.
Kyogre. There, just them existing as Kyogring is just doing a Kyogre. Fine, fuck you.
Wait, but that's just one Pokemon.
I know.
many
We're
Pokemon
talking
are there?
legendaries. I mean, Kyogre has to count for like 100 like regular Pokemon. Like
How many
it's
Pokemon
a
are there?
legendary.
There's like over 1,000.
Okay.
Like
That's
1,000.
that is so many fewer than a trillion.
He's right.
Yeah, but you just said that a trillion lions equates one Kyogre.
I mean, like honestly, like half a trillion lions would accomplish the same goal. So it's like Kyogre, and then and Kyogre is like the strongest one, right? So like, who even cares?
Is Kyogre's the strongest one?
Yes, you ever
of course.
fucking play a video game?
Oh, I did have a question. Since we're giving like a trillion lions, would it be more interesting for everyone if we went like every Pokemon form too? So like some Pokemon have like 2 or 3 other forms that are like different.
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
who even
Oh, like
cares, dude? It's a
Alolan
trillion.
and Kanto and things like
Yeah.
They
that.
have a million forms, right? It would need to be a billion forms in order to
No,
equal
well, I
a
mean,
trillion.
a lot of Pokemon are just gonna start just tearing through the lions, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's,
Well, hang on. If
but
we
trillion's a
incorporate
lot.
the regional forms, how does that change the numbers?
The regional forms, they wouldn't really change the numbers too much. I think it'd be like how many like Alolan forms are there? I want to say like probably usually there's like 15 every time they introduce them.
So maybe at this point there's an extra 100 to the 1,000 that we already have. Okay.
Okay. So, no takesy backsies. So if
Okay.
we're including all the forms of every Pokemon, there's this awesome Pokemon called Spinda. Spinda is a Pokemon who has, I guess I skipped my 1 minute thing, who cares? Spinda is a
You're
Pokemon
good.
who has a different spot pattern that is considered a different form. There are 4,294,967,296 different patterns of Spinda. Therefore, they have there is a lot of Spinda.
I feel like this is an entirely different argument. 1 billion lions versus 1 billion Spinda.
4.2 billion.
To be
Spindas.
clear, it was a trillion lions. It was a trillion lions we determined last Monday as we talked. And we were
I'm
laughing
not
for half an
done
hour.
yet, Liam.
Go,
not
go.
done.
Please go. No.
Spin-
I'm not correcting you.
Spinda can learn a awesome move called Double Team. Double Team creates copies of the user. In the anime, we've seen copies that can go up to like 20 to 30 times. Also, in the games, you can use it up to 6 times. So, some brief calculations in my head. I think that's approaching a trillion Spinda. If they all
multiply 6 times.
times 30 at max, because some in the anime we've seen 30. They've done it 30.
Okay, but we also we want to introduce rules and permutations to this fight. We didn't give a timeline for the fight, so I mean, it's just a few years, and the lions are going to be fucking and creating more lions. We didn't just say it's going to be all male lions.
Pokemon can breed too.
Yeah,
those Spindas can fuck.
Pokemon. Oh well, they need somebody to walk
True.
around with the egg though, and we're not including a trainer.
Good thing they got Mama Magcargo there with magma armor for ability to hatch the eggs a lot sooner than the lions can give birth. Therefore, they can reproduce faster. Checkmate.
What is the reproduction speed of lions?
It was 1 quadrillion lions. What are we talking? Why do you keep getting this wrong?
Okay.
I mean, so like,
have you seen?
There's got to be some Pokemon that could just take out a significant portion of lions, like right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Chat. Have you been to a zoo? Have you been to the San Diego Zoo? Have you been to the Bronx? The Bronx Zoo is actually quite lovely. And I'll probably be going there in July when I move back to the city. But have you been to the Bronx Zoo? Chat, have you been to any zoo?
I've been to many zoos.
Have you been to many zoos? Okay. Did you go to the lions?
Yes.
Did you see those motherfuckers?
Yeah, they're mainly just lying around being lazy.
Yeah, they're lying around because if they exerted even 1% of their fucking power level, the entire zoo would be annihilated by their lionliness. Okay, these are enormous creatures. They are strong. They are fast. They have claws. Bite is a dark type move. So. Fuck all, is it fairies? Is it fairy type is weak to dark? They're gone. They're just they're like they're deleted from exist. Ghost.
Well, guess what? I have a counter to that motherfucker.
This dark move.
Guess what? There's this awesome move called Imprison. It prevents all the opponents from using the same moves as the user. Mew can learn Imprison, so therefore all the lions suddenly can't do scratches, can't do bites.
Do you have any idea how fast a lion is?
Do you have any how fast?
Have incredible reflexes. They can catch up to zebra. Have you seen a zebra running? They run very fast. They can keep up with cars, with jeeps. Pokemon, not so fast. Not so fucking fast.
Untrue.
Lions,
Fairy Oak stated that Diglett can move at the speed of light.
Gary Oak was lying.
He's not lying.
I saw
you know this.
The other week, I saw Gary Oak at strip club other week, despite being supposedly a married man. He is a fucking liar. And I told Michelle. I called her on the phone and I told Michelle. She was weeping because Gary Oak is a fucking liar. He lies about this. He can lie about fucking Diglett.
Drama queen.
What do you mean she's a drama queen? Her husband has just cheated on her. What the fuck are you talking about?
She should just get over it.
Gary Oak is bullshit. Gary Oak is total bullshit.
No.
To be fair, Gary Oak is also 10 years old. He might be wrong about everything.
Yes. It also calls the marriage into question. I think Michelle should go to prison. That's regardless. That's regardless. The point. I'm getting worked up because this is just a lot.
Yeah, clearly. This is I see you are very serious about this and very, very dedicated to really determining this. And so I do want to bring it back to what Chad was asking, which is like there have got to be a bunch of Pokemon that can just cut through a bunch of lions, right? And this is sort of like going back to the idea of, should we be including mythic Pokemon? Should we be including legendary Pokemon? Well, there is actually a Pokemon that is a lion. Am I correct?
2 of them, in fact.
2.
There's
Wait.
Pyroar and Entei.
Pikachu?
Oh, is Entei a lion?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about
People call them
Sulcalia?
People call them dogs, but Raikou is like a saber-toothed tiger.
They're kind
So,
of like
I think they're cats.
feline. Sure. Okay.
What about
Pyroar.
Sulcalia?
Let's just look at Pyroar.
Just Pyro versus a trillion lions.
If Pyroar stood up against a trillion lions, how many lions could Pyroar take out?
It learns a move called Hyper Voice. It's a spread move, so it would affect all the lions.
All of them? It can hit a trillion lions?
Yeah, Hyper Voice
lions?
is a spread move, so that means it could hit every opponent on the field. Sure, like the damage is like cut down by like
that how that works?
Yeah, that's how that works. That's how spread moves work.
I don't think you can fight a trillion enemies in any Pokemon game. I don't think that would necessarily. I think we're using game mechanics a little liberally. I think we're doing that.
Wait, okay, so what does Hyper Voice do? What is it?
Um,
what does the move do?
It's a I guess I'll read the move description right now. The user attacks by letting loose a horribly loud, resounding sound. So it's like your drums will shatter. It's also sound. So like if you just like if he did it like straight up into the air, it's gonna be like a large AOE thing, which can help with the range. At the very least, he could do it over and over again if he can't get them all at once. I think the move Incinerate also is a spread move like that, which Pyroar also learns.
A lot of burning lions.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Lions live in the savanna of Africa. That is an area of the world that has been affected by climate change. I'm not talking recently. I'm talking like coming out of the Ice Age, right? It has gotten hotter and hotter and hotter since then, and the lions have been completely unperturbed by it. I don't think that any fucking little Pokemon move is gonna affect is gonna be worse for them than the heat of the fucking sun. So I'm sorry, not buying it. Lions are
that was the least subtle segue.
Yeah, right. Orange Blush says there's no real winners because Gardevoir will just create a black hole that kills everyone, including herself. Black hole pretty good against, I would imagine, lions. That would probably take out a lot of them.
Also,
there's no evidence of black holes preying on lions in the wild. I mean,
we don't have any evidence that lions would be hurt by black holes. Have you seen one get hurt by a black hole?
Have you seen a black hole, Liam?
Okay, no, but seriously, if Gardevoir were to create a black hole, clearly that doesn't necessarily have the amount of power to take out a trillion lions, because we would have, if it were that strong, like capable of like wrecking the earth, then the Pokemon world would not exist, because Gardevoir would have already obliterated it, right? So the black hole that Gardevoir makes must be more localized, one of those like, non-standard localized black holes that just happen to pull in things within a certain radius and for some reason don't affect anything beyond that. And also doesn't seem to affect light, because light still exists around it. One of those anime black holes. But so it could probably take out a couple lions, but I can't see it taking out all of them.
What if it made a lot of black holes that surround the Pokemon so they can't approach?
Can Gardevoir do that? Also, wait, doesn't Gardevoir only make the black hole to defend her trainer? Or their trainer?
No, because
there's a trainer in this.
We've seen in the anime a wild Gardevoir does that to kill Professor Oak.
Wait, what?
Professor Oak?
Yeah.
What? To make up for Gary's lies.
We've actually seen Gardevoir on several occasions make a black hole. So, and I think in the instance in the anime, it was like we don't know who owned it. It wasn't implied that Oak owned it. It was like in one of Oak's segments at the end of every episode where he gets the shit kicked out of him by the Pokemon. Why would that be non-canon? He's explaining the Pokedex, and then we get a visual of what the black hole is.
Wait, hang on. If all those are canon, does that mean that Professor Oak is immortal? He can survive any Pokemon attack?
I think that is like kind of the joke. At the end of those segments, he always gets the shit kicked out of him by a Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah, chat's confirming. Oak has been assaulted by Pokemon a lot. Yep. Yeah. Clearly. Okay. Yeah. Still.
Well, never mind. Never mind. I got the power in my head right. I was gonna say and Professor Oak would get his ass kicked by a lion, but I realized that that doesn't actually establish a chain. It was if he was beating up on Pokemon that would establish a chain. I'm sure he's beaten some of his Pokemon. I mean, Professor Oak sounds like a mean bastard. So the lions probably scale above Pokemon.
I don't think that's how
Oak.
that works. I think a Caterpie would kick all their asses. To be honest,
Caterpie is actually
come on.
Caterpie's is probably a pretty good counter argument, but I mean, you can't all be Caterpies, right? You have to have a couple of Palkias and Dialgas in there, fucking ruining the
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
damn!
Come on, stop holding everyone back. Jeez. Okay.
Exactly. Right.
Hear me out. Caterpie can learn a spread move called String Shot. And that would just tie up all the lions so that they would be immobile.
Okay, I see what you're going for here, because like in some Pokemon games, you can come across like a group of Pokemon that are like there's like 8 of them on the field, right?
Yeah.
When you do something like String Shot against the whole group, I can't remember, a swarm or whatever they call it. Does it hit all of them or does it just hit 2?
It does hit all of them. They actually goad you into trying to do that to handle those battles.
Gotcha. Okay.
A trillion though? I mean, this is a genuine
That's not too far off from 5.
What is the maximum amount of Pokemon that can appear in a swarm?
Off the top of my head, I think it's
1
5
billion.
from X and Y's Horde battles. I think that's
only 5.
I think so. There might be another thing I might be misremembering, but I think it's 5.
Could have sworn it was more than that. Maybe not. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of the limit we have to give it. Like, I don't know, unless there's an example of Caterpie shooting String Shot and hitting 20 people at once.
There's no example of it not doing that.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, even just like Pikachu alone, like we've seen Pikachu have like a pretty decent radius of like that's stopping a bunch of lions' hearts, right?
Lions do not conduct electricity.
Okay.
Source
Just. Oh my God.
Okay.
I feel like for this discussion to happen in good faith, you guys got to come in with like a baseline knowledge about lions. So I feel like when you ask me like how source
okay.
on
Well, here's what I want to do then.
Of course they don't.
Liam, here's what I want to do then. I'd like you to prepare just over the next minute or two a presentation of sorts to make sure that we have the baseline knowledge of lions that you think is necessary for everybody here, including everybody watching this live right now. Meanwhile, Chad, if you want to jump into our first ad read while Liam is preparing that. Get ready, guys. Stick around. Liam is going to come at you with baseline lion facts.
Lion lore.
Yeah, lion lore. But first.
All right, well, hey, guess what? This podcast is brought to you by Comic Palooza, because we're going to be there. Comic Palooza reached out, saw the amazing Kickstarter support that y'all gave us, and they're like, hey, we'd love to have the Death Battle out at Comic Palooza. And we're like, we would love to go. That sounds awesome, because Comic Palooza is the largest pop culture festival in Texas, and it's going down in Houston this June 20th through 22nd at the George R. Brown Convention Center. There will be hundreds of panels covering everything from anime to comics to podcasts to literature to gaming to us. Also, not sure if you saw the socials, but it has been officially announced. Our buddy Devil Artemis is going to be out there too. So we're joining a bunch of other special guests, including Adam Savage, Patton Oswalt, Hayden Christensen. Yep. I'm really excited. Tori Wilson, Alan Tudyk, and the voice of Goku himself, Sean Schemmel. There'll be a huge exhibit hall with merchants from all over the nation, tons of awesome attractions and events like a rave, a Japanese arcade, a cosplay contest, magic shows. They've got a car show, a haunted house, and full steel combat, which is kind of what you think. It's knights in full armor with full steel beating the hell out of each other. So that's definitely something we'll be checking out. We'll be there all weekend from Friday through Sunday. We'll be doing a few panels, signing autographs, and even preparing a very special episode for the first time ever. Can't reveal which episode it is yet, but let's just say it's one you've been wanting to see. So click the link below to check out Comic Palooza, pick up your passes now, and come hang out with us June 20th through 22nd. We hope to see you at Comic Palooza. I'm really excited. It's going to be so much fun.
All right. Speaking of episodes you want to see, stay tuned. We'll have something to show you guys later on in the show today. Yeah. Go to Comic Palooza if you can. It's going to be super fun. We'd love to see a bunch of you guys show up. I know I had said previously when we did 100 unarmed human beings versus one gorilla that if 100 of you show up and tell me that human beings would win, that would convince me. I don't know if a trillion of you are going to be able to show up to convince me that lions win this, but like maybe.
And why would you
know,
need
we'll see.
convincing? This is not
All
a
right,
difficult
so
debate.
There you go.
I've also seen a lot of super chats coming in that give some very interesting
Yes.
information about Pokemon.
I-
Well, I'd like to get to that right after Liam's lion lore dump. But Liam, let's see what you got. Let's get some lion lore.
Lions are apex predators in Africa, and I believe in Asia as well. They don't conduct electricity, as I just mentioned. Their tackle, just the tackle of a lion, like no claws included, that would be up to 30,000 psi. Their bite force used to be considered around 650 psi, but that was a sub-adult male, and they checked it again, and actually a fully adult, like beefy male lion would have a bite force of about 1,000 psi. I mean, that is more than enough to break bone, to rip limbs off. They're incredibly strong. There are instances of lions fighting and killing, taking down giraffes, hippos, elephants, a polar bear once, which I thought was crazy, wildebeest, crocodile, humans, obviously. I think it's interesting that humans have tamed Pokemon, and yet will die horribly to lions. Really, have they tamed lions? I don't think so. And in fact, there was a great instance of this in the 19th, I believe the 19th century, or maybe early 20th century. There was, I think it was a British colony. They were building this like bridge in this area, and they encountered what we later would call the Savo man-eaters. These were a pair of lions who really were not a fan of these people, and spent the next like couple of like I think months picking off the humans like one by one, like hunting them at night.
I never would have guessed after that name.
Yeah, right. Like, they got, this is crazy. They got 135 people before both of them were finally put down, and they only thought it was one at first. And then people kept dying, and they were like, "Oh fuck!" And it was the second lion. I think there's a movie called like The Shadow in the Darkness or something. It has Val Kilmer in it. I hear it's good. But yeah, they're terrifying
about
creatures.
This?
About the Savo man-eaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a real historical thing. I'm not. I mean, I'm not making it up, but this is a real thing. So lions are incredibly dangerous animals. I mean, more dangerous than any fucking Pokemon out there.
So what is a lion to a lion Pokemon?
I also want to say that humans have tamed lions. Just saying, it's been done.
No.
Source: the circus.
The circus when fucking Siegfried and Roy is resized. Yeah, thank you.
Tamed is not quite the right word. You can't domesticate a lion. It's impossible.
Not with that attitude.
But I guess they are called lion tamers, I suppose. So and they literally
lamers.
Wow.
All right, so
that's fair.
Okay. So we've gotten some super chats who have some very interesting Pokemon statistics to bring up. Maybe it can help your argument, Jacob, because clearly, that's a lot of good logistical and long-winded lion lore that we really need to prove that lions will win this. But maybe chat's got something for the Pokemon.
Michael McDowell says, Jacob, all you need is we only need 3, and that's Steelix, Magcargo, and Gardevoir. To take out a little.
Wait, why Steelix?
Lion food.
I forget why Steelix. I know a lot of the other ones like Machamp and Tyranitar. I don't know Steelix actually.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. Keep going.
I
Chat.
underestimated your game. I'm sorry, Steelix.
Cody's asking about the Pokemons that are lions. We already covered that. Eva Chuber says, I'm gonna make it fair for lions and make it just the OG 151. Magmar is hotter than the sun. I was gonna bring that up.
Cargo is in 151.
Yeah.
To say
Charizard can burn them from the sky.
Get out of here.
Creates poison dust. Gengar's entire existence. Yeah, exactly. So they're even just the 151 they think are beating all these lions.
Move dead. Insta dead. Bite.
In prison. Also, Liam, I have a counter argument to your electricity thing. There's this awesome Pokemon move called Soak that turns you into a water type. You become weak to electricity.
Nice. Turning them into water lions.
Lion's fur is incredibly good at keeping water out. This is how they're able to swim so well in water. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see.
So I think the
what is
idea
so
behind
fucking challenging about this.
So I think the idea behind Steelix is the Pokedex entry says that when it's aged, it becomes diamond-like. So theoretically, a lion wouldn't be able to bite it. It also has one of the highest defenses, if not the highest defense, in the game. It's like physical defense of 200. However, it has only 75 HP and a special defense of only 65. So if the lions could potentially turn another Pokemon's special attack against Steelix, it's fucking done. Like,
There's also
Furthermore,
there's
the
also
human-
Pokemon moves like Heal Pulse that could heal allies. So that
I'm talking about
could
the diamond thing. The diamond thing is important. The human matchup, the matchup between humans and lions in Africa, very bad for the humans. The human matchup against diamonds in Africa, very good for the humans. They hunt a lot of diamonds.
not
in
living
Africa.
diamonds.
So this is lions
Okay.
scale above humans, scale above diamonds. Okay.
right, yeah. This is just power scaling at its like most basic and
Right,
you know
yeah.
standard. Makes sense, right? Human scale above diamonds, lion scale above humans. I totally buy that. Absolutely.
I don't know. A
think
lot of
Liam might
people
be
have died
fibbing
for
a
those
little.
diamonds. Like,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, to
Maybe
lions.
humans and diamonds are neck and neck.
It's a close, but lions stomp humans, so the scaling works for them.
Well, what is the enemy of a lion but another lion? There's this awesome move called Tea Time, which forces all the Pokemon to eat what food they have on hand. What is food to a lion but meat? They would eat each other.
okay.
So the
Are
lions
wait, are
eat the
Pokemon not meat?
But not all of them necessarily eat each other, though.
Aren't there multiple Pokedex entries that are like, this Pokemon tastes delicious? There's literally a Pokemon that's an apple. Like,
Well, no, the Pokemon is the
The
worm. It's just inside an apple.
then it's literally an apple.
No,
So-
it's not. It can leave the apple.
Wouldn't that move make the lions eat the Pokemon? Because lions are voracious eaters. Like they will strip bone, they will break bone down to marrow and suck it out. I'm not seeing like Pokemon beating lions in
There's
an
a
eating
trillion
contest.
lions, Liam. They're all not going to be able to approach the Pokemon. The nearest meat is going to be their fellow lion next to them.
They're used to like the pack dynamic of like needing to share. Like the alphas in the lion group will get the best scraps of the Pokemon first, but the rest of them it's a hierarchy thing. They're aware of this. It's not they're not going to starve. There's
Wait,
more than
hang
enough
on.
Pokemon,
Some
especially with
rivals
your
in there, you
standard
know?
bullshit.
Sorry,
go on.
I know this. There's definitely a lot of infighting between lion groups, even those are the same pack. So no, I think a little tea time would cause some concern for team
Okay,
lions over here.
we have a bunch of super chats. There's no way we're going to be able to get through
I
all
know.
of them because this is crazy. But there is one that really stands out to me that makes me question everything we've been talking about. Gilded Data says the Pokédex says that Tyranitar can't take damage. Well, that can't be true because you can KO Tyranitar. So does that
You know
mean
what?
all Pokédex entries are wrong?
No.
Oak, lying little cheating son of a
We've
bitch.
seen the Gardevoir Black Hole. We've seen Machamp throw 1,000 punches.
I mean, have we though? Like,
We have.
or-
I played Pokken Tournament DX. That's his super move.
yeah, and I
That's
know
both
you're
of their
really
super
good at
moves.
it and whatnot. You're champion, whatever. But but like, is
Doesn't
Pokken
it
Tournament?
suck?
Is
It
it
sucks.
real, or is it just like people's imagination of what it could be like when the kid looks at Machamp and goes like, he puts into his Pokédex, oh, you could throw 1,000 punches in a minute. Oh, that's so cool. And then like somebody makes a fighting game in the world of Pokemon that like gives that child Pokemon trainer his dream.
Yeah.
But in reality, Machamp's just like a loser who can't lift more than 10 pounds.
Was my entire Pokken career meaningless?
You know who probably wrote the Pokédex
It wasn't
entries?
real.
You know who probably wrote the Pokédex entries? Lions.
Lions?
Why would the Lions write it?
Lions are extremely intelligent animals. If the Savo man-eaters can outsmart a bunch of humans, I'm sure that they're smart enough to fucking write basic ass bullshit fucking
This has
Fan-
all
they're
this has
definitely
all
smarter
been
than
an
Dream.
underhanded scheme to make everybody think Pokemon are more powerful than they actually are, so that they pit them against lions, so that lions can just take them out in an instant.
And the
Lions
thing
don't
oh my
exist in
God.
the Pokemon world unless it's Pyroar and Entei. There's no proof otherwise.
No.
there's
Early
another
on
one.
in the Pokemon series, we do see actual animals, and they talk about like birds.
Were
and
any of
squirrels
them
everywhere.
lions?
That's fair.
Soul Galio is also a lion. The chat really
Soul
wants you to remember
Galio?
that. Yeah.
That's an interspatial.
All right.
Words are
One
hard.
lion.
Hang on for a second.
Yeah.
Solgalio's a lion. So
Yes.
there would be a Solgalio on Team Lion, right? When you guys said lions, you didn't say which lions.
That's
You
fair.
just said lions.
You know
Right.
what? You know what, Liam?
So-
I have another mission for you. We're
Yeah?
going to give you another minute, and I want you to come
Okay.
up with the best lions that are going to be a part of this fight. While
Okay.
Chad talks to us about our other sponsor for today.
Yeah.
That's right. Because we're sponsored by Mando. From the founders of Lumi, Mando Whole Body Deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a new way. Formulated with mandelic acid, Mando has long-lasting 72-hour odor control that actually stops odor before it starts. The best part is you can put Mando anywhere: pits, packages, skin folds, backs, knees, everywhere, wherever you're feeling. To top it off, Mando's cologne quality scents were created with men in mind. Pro tip: their best selling is bourbon leather. And it's a game changer. I personally found one that was similar to products I'd used in the past, and I really, really liked the smell of it, and it's Mount Fuji. So that's what I've been using. It is awesome. This stuff really, really works. It feels comfortable. Also, it's aluminum free, which I always look for in my deodorant. So it's been great. They've got like every shape, form you can imagine. Like they've got sprays, they've got wipes, they've got your traditional stick. Like if there's a form that you can be deodorized, they probably have it. And once you experience fresher underarms, a fresher package, and fresher feet, you'll never go back. And we've got a special deal for you. It's called Mando's Starter Pack, and it's perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. We've got a way you can get $5 off your starter pack. Just use code DBC at shopmando.com. That's over 40% off. Code DBC at shopmando.com, and tell them we sent you. So use the code DBC. Everybody should be deodorizing in some way, shape, or form. Do it with them because it helps support us.
Especially if you're going to Comic Palooza. Ayo.
Yeah, right. I want everyone I meet smelling fresh.
All right. I also, real quick, looking at Super Chat, Dude Blade X, what the fuck are you talking about? Dude Blade X says, I'd like to point out that 7 billion people can comfortably fit in the state of Texas with a population density similar to New York. And Reggie Gygas can move entire continents. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. There's no way 7 billion people can fit into Texas, right? Like that can't be
No,
true.
Texas is
Seen
fucking
7
empty
billion
as
people
shit.
in Texas.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know
can you
Texas is
prove
big,
otherwise?
but could you
You know-
fit? That's just, if that's true, that's a wild statistic to me.
New York
if we're
is
road
really
tripping
dense.
across the country,
That's
half
fair.
the trip is Texas.
That's
Like,
true. That's true.
Imagine
Okay.
like Manhattan, but like all those fields, it's just endless Manhattan. That's
I guess you were
scary,
talking
dude.
earlier about smelting lions into Mount Everest, so I guess that
Yeah,
kind of lines
yeah.
up.
Yeah. Also, I want to address the super chat from Akila, who said, to counter Liam's argument against lions being electrocuted, I found an article from 2019 on ABC's news website saying 2 lions were electrocuted.
Yeah, but those lions, what they leave out is that both of those lions had been injured earlier in their life, and they had like metal implants in their legs, which was the thing that was allowed them to conduct the electricity.
Wait, are you suggesting that lions are like electric resistant? Like they're grounded? They just can't be electrocuted?
You're gonna need to keep up with me on this one. We talked about
What?
them conducting electricity.
Okay,
Ground
okay.
type of water
So-
source. That means grass moves.
Coming back to this.
Yeah.
Because we did leave off on a mission for Liam. Liam.
Yeah.
What lions you are correct. We haven't specified
Mm-hmm.
what lions are actually a part of this fight. We've just kind of been naming that there's a billion or a trillion lions. What
Mm-hmm.
lions could be in this fight?
Okay, so from the hit film series Madagascar, there's Alex the Lion, and Alex, not physically impressive. I mean, he is a lion, so he's like stomping most Pokemon easily, but very intelligent. I mean, he was able to organize a round trip from New York to Madagascar, to Africa, and then through Europe and performed in the Afro Circus before getting back to New York. These are pretty incredible intelligence feats. I could see him commanding large groups of lions. Second, Snagglepuss, who is apparently a lion. I didn't know that before we talked about it on their meeting the last week. Snagglepuss is a lion. Snagglepuss was present. If you've seen Scooby-Doo versus Courage, Snagglepuss was present for the feat, which with a bunch of Hanna-Barbera characters where they survived time blowing up, like the time-space continuum exploding on top of them, and they survive. That's like a universe level feat pretty easily.
Technically, I think Snagglepuss is a mountain lion, which I think might be a little different here. But I see what you're going for.
Everybody said mountain lion is a lion, and I know that's bullshit, but you guys told me that it was okay, so I included it. We can exclude Snagglepuss.
I did nothing of the sort.
Just not include the guy who survived the universe.
Because I agree.
Okay.
Pumas.
We'll leave it up to chat. Chat, you guys can decide when you're voting. Does Snagglepuss surviving the universe count as a lion?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, mountain lions are a weaker kind of cat to regular lions. So
if you were to scale lions to mountain lions to cougars, then sure.
Yes, exactly. Then there's Simba. Not super impressive in The Lion King, but in Kingdom Hearts, he is an incredibly powerful summon, comparable to Sora, who is universe level, can move billions of times faster than light, as we covered in like Yoda versus King Mickey and Pit versus Sora, whatever. Also, they're powerful. However, there is another. Sam, could you bring up the only image I sent you?
Ooh.
Familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia.
So I do recall, Liam, a while ago, a recurring topic that you brought up was you believed that Pikachu could fight the Judeo-Christian God.
Is this how it happens?
Essentially what's going on here?
Because my opinions have changed.
Oh.
I don't think Pikachu would defeat, Judeo-Christian God perhaps, but Aslan, no. I don't think Arceus or however you say it.
A little bit more Abrahamic kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Would be able to defeat Aslan. But if you consider Aslan to be Judeo-Christian God, which he is, C.S. Lewis is like one of the most hardcore Catholics to ever exist.
Therefore, Pikachu can in fact beat Aslan. Thank you, Liam.
Nobody's beating.
As Orange Blaster in the chat says, Aslan is just Jesus's persona.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He is God the Son. Aslan is God the Son. Aslan's divine form is God the Holy Spirit, and then the Emperor beyond the sea is God the Father. And they are all one, because we know our Trinity.
You ever have one of those moments, guys, where you just wonder what the fuck you're talking about?
I'm talking about lions. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Some fucking bullshit that isn't lions, apparently.
Okay.
The Shade says you're forgetting that there's a Mag Cargo whose body temp is over 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's just a basic Pokemon, not even counting the gods that can change literal reality.
That's such a baby argument. 4 billion Spinda? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. But
I have to admit, when you were talking about the Spinda thing, you kind of led us into a trap with that, because you specifically said, I feel like you baited us a bit, because you specifically said different forms, and I was like, like the Alolan ones, and you were like, no, different possible appearances of Pokemon, which also means that each shiny Pokemon would count as its own separate form.
Which means there's 9 billion Spinda.
I feel like might be a little unfair. I don't think that's what people are actually talking about here. So I don't know. I'm starting to think that
double team.
I'm starting.
And to be fair, you specifically said how many regional. But I only said the regional when you asked that. I never said anything about Spinda yet.
I think this is totally fine. I think you can include anything you want to, because
really
the Lions have Aslan, and we're going to talk about Aslan.
I have a few counter arguments for you, good sir. Every lion, they're all equivalent, correct? In this scenario, would you say?
I mean,
I'm not leading you on.
Hypothetically, the best version. You could take multiple kinds of teams, but the hypothetical best version of this is 1 trillion Aslans. I think that would be overkill. Personally, I think 1 Aslan is effectively enough.
So they also have Pyroar and Entei and Solgaleo on their side then, which means that they are somewhat Pokemon themselves. Mewtwo in the first Pokemon movie has custom Pokeballs that always catch whatever they hit. Therefore, he would just catch Aslan.
You
Just like
know,
that.
he could catch an Aslan avatar. So this is where we're going to talk about Aslan. So Aslan, as he appears to us in, if you've seen like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I don't remember if that movie's good. I remember being like thumbs up. I saw it when I was like 9. I don't remember if it was good, but I remember being like, yeah, this is good. The Aslan that we see is Christ, right? He dies and is reborn on the stone tablet in the movie. He's Christ. Meaning that he is because C.S. Lewis is designing his cosmology, and boy did he design a cosmology. C.S. Lewis, this motherfucker is a versus debater. I swear to God, if you read some of these quotes, I should say versus debaters are taking off of C.S. Lewis. The Aslan that we see is a co-equal but earthly manifestation of Aslan's true nature. Because Aslan is God, right? So it's like, could you capture the human form of Jesus in a Pokeball? Yeah, probably, but would it matter? Like, okay, that like Jesus is divine. He is both man and divine. This is basic Trinity stuff. So it doesn't. His human form might die, but he is still God the Son in a divine form. And that is true of Aslan as well. So he could capture an Aslan avatar. He would not affect Aslan proper.
Okay. Arceus works the exact same way. He always has his little avatars, as we've seen in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, Arceus is also a Pokemon. Obviously, he's created the whole universe. Theoretically, this isn't reflected in game, but game mechanics, very likely. Arceus, theoretically, since he created the whole world, all the Pokemon, he should theoretically have every Pokemon move.
Yeah.
So this would include Transform. So he would just turn into Aslan and use his own powers against him alongside his other powers he already has.
Can he transform into something that isn't a Pokemon?
Yes, we've seen like Detective Pikachu. We've seen Ditto turn into a human.
Right, that terrifying thing. Okay. So what I'm getting from this, ultimately, at the end of the day, because we do need to kind of wrap this up here.
I gotta talk about the feats. I gotta talk about Aslan. I gotta talk about his full story.
Let's wrap this up with.
I have one more counter argument.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Final arguments. Talk about Aslan's feats.
No, you give me your argument first.
No, you go. You go first.
My stuff
you know what?
The
two of you come up with a number between 1 and a billion. Liam.
835,739.
Jacob.
2,600,341.
The number was 1. So Liam, you go first.
No. No, we didn't want to go first. But okay. Aslan sang the entire world into existence. Not just Narnia. Narnia is one universe among an infinite number of universes. Ours is included. He has complete and total omniscience, which if you've seen Jewel of Life, Arceus does fucking not. He has every power in the book. He literally is the creator of magic. Not only does he know deep magic, which is fate, he knows deeper magic, so his fate is better than your fate. He has transfiguration, so if Arceus turned into Aslan, Aslan would turn into Arceus turning into Aslan. He would just turn into a better Arceus. He has restoration, invisibility, shapeshifting, weather manipulation, nature creation, time manipulation, space manipulation. He controls all magic, mental manipulation, healing, flight, sleep manipulation, portal creation, spirit summoning, teleportation, resurrection. And his true form exists in what's called Aslan's country, which is heaven. It's just heaven, but it is a reality that is literally stated to be more real than our own. Every universe that we exist in is a fictional dream. It is a shadow, which he is explicitly using Platonic, the idea of like the cave analogy in Platonic forms, to create this, which essentially birthed all of the versus debating, like reality versus fiction nonsense. C.S. Lewis created this shit, or created it to use with his fictional characters. Aslan's country, all of reality is described by C.S. Lewis to be like an onion, where each layer is more real than the last. As you go further up in Aslan's country, previous layers of reality behind you are fictional. to the point where when you get to Aslan, the where you started in Aslan's country is but a distant, murky dream. Aslan can not only match Arceus in power in terms of creating an infinite number of universes, he is significantly more powerful than Arceus in that he also has this element of more real than just being able to create an infinite number of universes. Like he is a real character versus a character like Arceus, who is fictional in comparison.
But
Aslan is significantly
into
stronger.
it.
Okay. Wow. All right.
That's the other 999,999,999,999 lions he has to deal with. So I don't think Arceus is. I don't think it's going to matter too much.
All right. Well, Jacob, let's get a final argument. And yes, we are getting to the sneak peek as well as the big announcement. But first, let's get final arguments for Pokemon.
All right. One, I don't think we've seen Aslan fight actually, so who knows if he could actually do this. Two, what is also on the lion side would be a guy named Lion-O, right? Lion-O uses his weapon and has a little thing called the Eye of Thundera.
I know.
All they got to do is break that, and then every lion on that side, since it's all equalized, including Aslan, no matter what, would perish. And we don't even have to reach Lion-O, right? We have Pokemon that can use Transform. They could become a perfect replica of what they're transforming into. And we have seen in the games, they do when they transform into other Pokemon, that does include the objects, like Cubone's Bone, Tinkaton's Hammer. So all they would have to do is just break the Eye of Thundera that's transformed, and that would kill all the lions. And we have reasonable evidence to say that they could come up with a plan like this. Alakazam has an IQ of 500 and is known for making very strategic plans. Worst case scenario, Alakazam goes down, just transform into another Alakazam, and they could come up with a plan. I think the lions are all kind of screwed after that.
Aslan can resurrect himself like he did.
Not with that attitude.
I do want to point out that Transform does not give people their stats, right?
It does. It gives them the exact same stats as the user, besides HP.
Does it?
And to be clear to the chat,
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
The Aslan stuff was planned, so Aslan is officially a part of this discussion.
Was it planned? Okay.
It was.
We talked about Lion-O before during this when we planned this, so I'm just saying.
But also, I saw somebody. Oh my god, I might have missed it. Somebody in chat mentioned like if we're bringing in all lions, you should bring in Digimon, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. Except, the lion in Digimon is Leomon, and he dies all the time. So you're just setting up the lions to die. Okay, so
Caterpie versus 1 trillion.
Summer Stapers.
So
one Moody Bidoof will level Liam's lies and Lion Lucy.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. So this is wild. Really did not know where this is gonna go when we started this. But we have reached we're close to the end here. So I want everybody to start thinking about who they want to win this, because we will get the poll up in just a little bit. But first, there's something else I want to talk about, and this is going to be a very big shift from the shenanigans we've been doing, because we have big news regarding Death Battle moving forward. So some of the most common questions we get about Death Battle aren't matchup suggestions. They aren't even who would win between a billion lions and all Pokemon. They're things like, where can I watch blocked episodes? Where can I buy Death Battle merch? Do you have a Patreon? And so we decided to kill all three of those birds with a single website. Yeah, very soon we are launching the Death Battle website. And the website is going to be three things. It's going to be a Patreon, a store, and a video archive. So first, what is the video archive? So the idea is that all episodes of Death Battle will be hosted on the website. Whenever possible, archived episodes will be ad-free. And any episodes that were like blocked or removed from YouTube will be viewable on the website. So finally, we're going to be able to show you guys again Beerus versus Galaxia. I know that's been like unviewable for a while. It's finally going to have a place to actually be viewed.
Aslan's saying this website into existence as he did.
Yeah, thank Aslan.
The website is actually a transformed Pokemon.
Okay,
but does not conduct electricity.
Well, it does require electricity to run, so I don't know how that necessarily works. Episodes that also have required some edits will be up there. So, like a certain "Welcome to Bleep" will finally be reviewable, if you know what I mean. And to be clear, this is not going to be an SVOD website like Rooster Teeth was. We are not leaving YouTube. YouTube is still going to be the best place to watch new Death Battle episodes. Each new Death Battle will premiere on the YouTube channel first and then be archived later. So the idea is that the website is primarily an archive, not like a place to watch new Death Battles. But Death Battles will be, put up there. It will have every Death Battle up there. And supporting and accessing this ad-free archive is the first benefit of the website's Patreon, because this website is also a Patreon. It's like the second big thing, right? So more specifically, it's using a Patreon-style model with a 95-5 split. That basically means 95% of your pledge as a patron goes directly to us, which is more than most other sites like YouTube. For rewards, being a patron will be different from being a YouTube member. The way I see it, our YouTube membership and our patron should offer different rewards that each service excels at specifically. Like YouTube members will still get extra videos, live stream chat, community features like Discord, while patrons will be getting extra merch deals at the store, behind the scenes goodies, access to the archive, and so on. So it's very different from the YouTube membership thing. I see what you're doing, Chad.
I don't know what you're talking
about. We'll get to that in just a minute.
I know.
Actually, we'll get to it right now. A minute is right now.
Drinking?
The Death Battle store. This is something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and it's finally happening. So we're gonna have all new Death Battle merchandise. There's going to be a bunch of different types of items that are on this store, but there will be specialty items that will refresh often. And then there's also going to be so there's always something new, always on the way. We can bring up one of the sort of items that we're planning to show off, which is the official researcher's notebook. Here is just an image of it. I love this item. This is probably one of my favorite items that we have planned.
Oh yeah, it's same. It's so cool.
It's super cool. I really love it. But then there's also going to be exclusive items for patrons, and patrons will also get store-wide discounts. And that, an example of that is what Chad was just showing off. We have a cooler, a boomstick beer cooler.
No.
Look at that thing. It's great.
It's for beer, and I guess other stuff too, which I think is going to be the description.
Yeah. Well, also anything you want to be beer, you just put it in that, and then it's beer, right? Like that's how it works.
Yeah, it changes it. It's been great, and I can attest. These just came in, and I had my soda sitting in this the entire time, and I was like, really gonna test to see if it does keep it cool well, and it did. It's very cold.
Yeah,
so it works. Great.
We do want to make sure all the merch that's on the website is like of quality, right? It's really important to us to make sure that like this doesn't compete with like the YouTube membership stuff. That any merch that goes up on the website is of quality, that the archive is supported and maintained really well, and that we get the best versions of the episodes on there. Yeah, it's really important to us to make sure that everything on this website is like good, right? So that's generally the plan. And if you're wondering, will YouTube memberships be affected by this? Not really. YouTube's still going strong, and we love our champions on YouTube. Again, we intend to keep the Patreon separate from YouTube with different rewards. YouTube members will still be getting the extra videos and community features like you currently do, while patrons of the archive, we love calling it that, patrons of the archive, because it's kind of like the main thing, right? Patrons of the archive will be getting the extra merch, the video archive they're directly supporting, behind the scenes stuff. You can think of it like maybe if there's like behind the scenes blog material, it makes more sense to put that on like a Patreon model than on YouTube, but videos make more sense on YouTube, right? The planet level and galaxy level champion tiers are still around, and they're actually going to be getting some new stuff pretty soon. However, there is one change that is happening to YouTube memberships. The current $2.99 base form tier is changing. And you guys know we want to be like open and transparent with you guys about stuff like this. So here's the deal. The base form tier, that $2.99 champion tier, unfortunately just isn't cutting it for us. We're running into situations where producing quality membership content costs more than we're receiving. And we'd prefer to take a quality over quantity approach to all of our content, including member videos. And frankly, the base form tier to be honest, it only really exists because back when we were with Rooster Teeth, we needed to have our channel cost less than their $5 SVOD program. Remember Rooster Teeth first? And again, the Death Battle website's not trying to be that like at all. So we're not creating any sort of competition between the two. And it made sense then, right? Because then base form, but the base form tier then was more of an obligation than something we wanted to make with intention. Now that we're independent, it's time to clean things up. So to be absolutely clear, the base form tier, the $2.99 tier, will officially end on July 31st. The other tiers are fine. Don't worry about it if you're Planet or Galaxy. But if you are base form, then and you want to keep your membership badge, you will need to upgrade to planet level or higher before July 31st. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, we want to give you plenty of time to upgrade if you want to keep your badge, if you want to maintain a membership. I do not want this to come across as us saying, that the base form tier has been bad or anything like that. We greatly appreciate everybody who has been in that tier this whole time, or even for a month, whatever. We appreciate any sort of support that you guys have been giving us this whole time. I hope we've made that clear.
Yeah, 100%.
But it just is a change that needs to happen. And we want to give you guys as much of a heads up as we can. So again, if you are currently base form and want to keep your membership badge, you will need to upgrade to planet level or higher before July 31st, because the base form tier on the YouTube membership side will end on July 31st. On the plus side, Planet and Galaxy level members will be getting some new stuff. We're going to be improving how membership content works. We plan on turning Ballot Banter, which has been primarily just a Discord thing. We plan on turning that and Champion Cast into live events on the channel that you can participate in. It's going to be super fun. Galaxy level members will also have priority access to future Ballot Banter submissions. And we're looking into bringing high-level members into focus groups of sorts to test out new show ideas that we've been working on. There's been a bunch of new show ideas happening behind the scenes, some related to Death Battle, some wildly different. And we'd love to bring some of you guys in to test things out, be focus groups. Let us know if what we're making is cool or if we're being morons. And we also have plans for an all-new tier, but we'll talk about that on another day because I know we're talking about a lot right now.
What are you talking about? This has been
it's been so insightful today.
So concise and just lots going on.
So back to the website real quick. Again, the Death Battle website will be 3 things: a store, a Patreon, and a video archive with every episode of Death Battle ever. We're hoping to launch the website very soon. It will be launching the same day Simone versus Kyle airs. Speaking of which, you guys have been waiting for this. Let's show off a little sneak peek of Simone versus Kyle.
I'm bad with authority. Just who the hell do you think you are?
We do the impossible. Touch the untouchable. If you ain't know.
Now you know!
Dude, okay. So Leo's been directing this episode, but even before we started really getting to work on it, Zach, once we found out that he was really interested in heading up animation, he was like, I want to make this the best fucking thing I can. And he really wanted to have a huge hand in putting it all together. And it's been crazy, right, Liam?
I am was consistently blown away at every stage of the process with everything that Zach and the animators did with this.
Yeah.
It was absolutely nuts.
Zach's been heading it up, but we've been bringing in some other people to help out to really fine tune it, and I think you guys are gonna like it. I'm very impressed with the team.
Super Meunier and V-Real are starting the dropping the membership gifting for the previous. I think. Are we at war again? Oh, here goes Vamulator with 10.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Vamulator? Right. Well, my favorite.
My username sucks. Gifted what? Oh, great. All right.
My username sucks.
Yeah,
I-
they've been a long time supporter.
Yeah,
Orange
yeah.
Blaster with the 5. Okay, yep, here they go.
I want to bring
What's the
something
link?
up. If you liked that preview, keep this idea in mind. Keep this fact in mind. Liam Swan was born in August 14th. That would make me, as part of the zodiac, a Leo. Leos are lions. So
Oh, so there's a trillion of you. That would be so easy to beat.
that would put me on Team Lion, and one of my feats would be directing, with help obviously, but directing Simone versus Kyle. So keep that in mind for Team Lion.
There you go.
And also Aslan.
Quack gifted 5. Gilded gifting 20. Ashton gifting 5. Run it again, Sam. Run it again.
All right, yeah, we'll run the preview one more time, as well as the CP one more time, as well as the poll is up. So go ahead and get your votes on. Let's run it again.
Told I'm bad with authority. Just who the hell do you think you are?
We do the impossible. Touch the untouchable. If you ain't know.
Now you know!
I don't know if your plea to say that you are part of the Lion group is necessarily helping, because a lot of people
no.
have responded saying, "Oh, sweet, so Liam is going to die now."
Oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Like, oh, we can make Liam lose now. Awesome.
If I die before this episode,
Are you
comes
holding the
out,
episode
then,
hostage?
I mean,
Wow.
I'm
Oh, no.
Without the director, I don't know. I don't know how this
Oh,
is
no.
Me and
possible.
Spinda, get him.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so we're very excited for Simone versus Kyle. If you're not familiar with Gurren Lagann or Kyle Rayner, they are really interesting characters. I've seen a lot of people talking about like their first watch throughs of Gurren Lagann thanks to this episode's announcement, and it's been fascinating like seeing a bunch of people experiencing it for the first time quite a while after it came out. And also just figuring out that Kyle exists and what the deal is with him. And he's got a very interesting story that had a huge impact just on comic books in general. And then also, I guess, like shortly after we announced this episode, Kyle, like DC announced that they're doing a new run with Kyle Rayner, which of course, that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I don't think he's had a
Classic.
run in years. So
Yeah.
that's wild. All right. So go ahead and get your votes in for all Pokemon versus one. I gave them 1 trillion. I know the title says 1 billion. Doesn't
Nope,
matter. At the end of the
it's
day,
changed.
at the end of the
I love it.
day,
It's changed.
what I'm gathering from this is we're just pitting 1,000 Arceuses against 1 trillion Aslans.
I mean, there are
Pretty
like,
much.
yeah, there's like an Arceus avatar for each game. So basically, yeah.
Jokes aside, Aslan
Jokes
does
aside.
like squash Arceus. That
Jokes
genuinely,
aside, we were joking this whole time? Oh, okay. Chad, who
all
would
of
you
life
vote
is
for?
a joke.
Are we just okay? In which scenario? Fictional lions or no?
I don't fucking know.
There's-
Whatever we've been talking about this whole
Right,
time.
Non-fictional lions.
I was
Right.
told fictional lines were included in the fucking call. In the call last Monday, I was told fictional lines were included. This
I got
includes Aslan.
confirmation right here for
Only
alternate
one.
forms. So many Spinda.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
I think non-fictional lions, Pokemon have this. I think we include fictional lions, then it goes to the lions. Those are my thoughts.
Oh, I think Pokemon
Lions.
take it either way. But
Okay.
with that being said, we will wrap up the poll in 3, 2, 1, and with 78% of the vote, Pokemon takes it. Wow, that's pretty significant. Like our gorilla humans fight was way even closer than that, I believe. So sorry, lions. Also, all of you just voted for every lion in the world to become extinct, I think, because that would be it, right? Like that would be
And
the
it
end of
was-
lion kind.
I'm
So
dead.
that's
So no
sad.
episode. Bye. I died.
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, I was kind of expecting everyone to meme vote lions. I didn't think I
It was like 50-50 whether there'd be a
Yeah, and
lion meme vote.
because you voted for that, Simo versus Kyle is not coming out. Sorry, guys. Yeah, what, you didn't realize that was what was on the table? Well, all right. No. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. What an episode.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say thanks everybody for the super chats. They were crazy today. I was keeping track of all of them. I've read them all and I've got them all logged. But like, there were so many. We also have to do this show. So trying to get what we could. But please know that they're very much appreciated and they have been read. So
For our final super chat of the day before you log off, Gilded Data does say, Liam, the fridge will be awaiting for you. That's fucking dark. Holy shit. All right.
well, there is
thanks,
a
guys.
fridge Pokemon. Okay,
Oh no.
that's it.
All right,
That was my
just
joke.
we'll sign off here later, everybody. We'll see you next week. Oh my
play it
god.
again.
Told I'm bad with authority. Just who the hell do you think you are?
We do the impossible. Touch the untouchable. If you ain't know.
Now you know!